Good evening. This is the meeting of the Township Committee, November 13, 2017. The notice requirements provided for in the open public meeting have been satisfied. Notice of this meeting was properly given by transmission to the Star Ledger, the Independent, and the Two River Times, and by posting at the Middletown Township Municipal Building, and filing with the Township Clerk on October 19, 2017. Committeeman Fiore.
Here.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Murray. Here. Mayor Scharfenberger.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence on our troops serving worldwide, defending our Constitution, freedoms, and way of life. Thank you. The first item on tonight's agenda, I'm going to have the Township Committee, we're going to start with the resolution that is, Resolution 17-262, a resolution to fill a vacancy on the Township Committee. At this time, I was asked to read the resolution for the record. This is Resolution 17-262, Township of Middletown, County of Monmouth, resolution making appointment to fill vacancy on the Township Committee for the unexpired term of Steve Massell. Whereas effective October 14, 2017, Steve Massell resigned from the Township Committee with a little more than a year remaining in his term. Actually, I'm under pressure that action should be first. And whereas Steve Massell was a Republican office holder pursuant to NJSA 48:16-11, the Republican Executive Committee of the Township of Middletown convened a meeting and selected 3 names to submit to the Township Committee for consideration to fill the vacancy. And whereas the Republican Executive Committee submitted the names of Patricia Snell, Anthony Perry, and Christopher Avita for the Township Committee's consideration, which now must be acted upon by the Township Committee by selection of one of these 3 names to fill the vacancy. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Middletown in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, that it hereby selects, with a blank, to serve on the Township Committee for the unexpired term of Steve Massell shall be sworn immediately. At this time, I guess it is procedure that the Township Committee should motion to appoint one of the 3.
Madam Clerk, I'd like to motion to move forward with the name Anthony Perry for the vacancy of Stephen Massell. Second.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedembrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray. Yes. Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to appoint Anthony Perry to the unexpired term of Stephen Massell. So at this time, I'd like to invite Anthony Perry to please come forward, and our Senator Joseph M. Carlos. Please come forward.
Mayor, members of the committee, honored to be with you and with everyone. Been waiting to stay for a long time, so please put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Anthony Perry, do solemnly swear
I, Anthony Perry, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I do swear
and that I do swear
to faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Township Committee Man
of Township Committee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Okay, at this time, we're going to continue with the order of the agenda as it appears on the agenda. We have certificates of appreciation and proclamations. Our first item, we have certificate recognizing Thompson Middle School Girls Cross Country Team's title wins. At this time, the presentation. I'd like to invite the team members to please come forward. Reese Bays. Alexandra Bean. Emma Bluthorn. Rachel Thompson. And Megan Hartford.
I just want to say, I'm going to rat his dad out because he's the one who told me about this. And it really was a big deal. He was more excited than you guys. Holy cow. But we're very proud of that. This young lady is we're proud of it. Hopefully we continue to sign the school with their up the state. Okay? I'm going to read this and then you have to smile and just make like it happen. This certificate was awarded to Thompson Middle School Girls Cross Country Team by the Middletown Township Committee in recognition of your athletic achievement in winning both the Shore Conference of Middle School All-Stars Meet and New Jersey Middle School Cross Country Championship this season. You are an excellent representation of Middletown and wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. We are very proud of you.
That easy. Look up and listen. See the whole stuff is
tutoring, so I'm out of here.
Our next item on tonight's agenda for presentation, we have a proclamation recognizing December as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month. At this time, I'd like to invite Municipal Alliance member Kimberly Kratz and Angela Pepe Lage, Crossroads Program Director, to come forward, please.
She gets shot right? Gets more than in the interest of full disclosure, I'm on the Middletown Drug and Alcohol Alliance with these two young ladies here, and it's an absolute labor of love. I think it's been on 15 years or so, and I cannot say enough good about what the Alliance does and has done in the past, so it really is it's an honor. This is, I'll read the proclamation because it is fairly self-explanatory. Whereas alcohol is a major factor in traffic accidents, based on recent data from the National Health Traffic Safety Administration, there is an alcohol-impaired traffic fatality every 51 minutes. And whereas the Middletown Municipal Alliance for the Prevention of Substance Abuse is joining with other national, state, and local highway safety and law enforcement officials to remind everyone this holiday season to always designate a sober driver before each holiday party or event involving alcohol. And whereas the holiday season is supposed to be a time for family, friends, and festive celebrations, but unfortunately it is also a time when we see a tragic jump in the number of alcohol-related highway fatalities. I teach in anthropology, and I told them fertility rights, so it's stuck in my head. Fatalities. Okay. Whereas December is designated National Impaired Driving Prevention Month to help underscore the public's commitment to preventing impaired driving and promoting the use of designated drivers and sober ride programs. And whereas the month of December and New Year's Eve holiday are also often highlighted by significant increases in state and local law enforcement efforts to combat impaired driving, such as the use of sobriety checkpoints and saturation patrols. And whereas driving impaired or riding someone who's impaired is not worth the risk, not only do you risk killing yourselves or someone else, but the trauma and financial cost of a crash or an arrest for driving while impaired can be devastating. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Scharfenberger, and the Middletown Township Committee do hereby proclaim that December 2017 be known as National Impaired Driving Prevention Month in Middletown Township. Be it further proclaimed that Middletown Township supports the designation of sober drivers and safe ride activities as valuable weapons in the battle against impaired driving. So, do you want to say anything on behalf of the league?
Just as always, we have Crossroads, the Alliance, we will thank Mayor Scharfenberger and the committee for all of the continued support. Our work would be possible.
Right. And you know, she's being a little bit modest. I'm sorry, can you want to say anything? Is that Aaron who's talking?
Absolutely. I joined the Alliance about 5 years ago. We had an unfortunate incident in my family. My father is one of 6 and his youngest sibling, who was a twin, 25 years old, made a decision to get into a vehicle with 3 of his other friends, all of which were impaired. None of them survived. 25 years old, their life was over. So it's touched my heart, and unfortunately, I'm sure it's touched many in this room too. So I made a commitment that, you know, I was going to join the Alliance. I have 2 sons, and they've gone through Project Plus and different programs within our township. We're very blessed in Middletown. We're one of the only towns that offer so much to our residents and our children. So it's a privilege and an honor to serve with these folks.
Right. And the Alliance is a whole. The Alliance as a whole is an amalgam of 20 or 30 people who get together the 3rd Saturday of every month. This one coming up, and get together, and literally saved lives and gotten people help who were at their wits' end. So you should be very proud that we have this. Hopefully nobody will ever need it, but if they do, it's there, and we're very proud of what you do, and Kim, and everybody else involved with the Alliance. So with that, I know the drill. You know what?
just going to note the next two items for the record. We have a proclamation declaring Friday, November 24th, 2017 as Track Friday in the Township of Middletown, and a proclamation declaring November 4th, 2017 World War I Centennial Day in Middletown. Oh, I'm sorry, and an additional one. The proclamation declaring Saturday, November 25th, 2017 as Small Business Saturday. At this time, we have the approval of minutes, October 2nd, 2017 executive session and workshop meeting. We have the October 16th, 2017 executive session and regular meeting.
Move for adoption.
Second. Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Committeeman Perry.
Yes.
I'm just reading, hold on, sorry. And Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt minutes. Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have the public hearing of proposed ordinances. Our first ordinance, 2017-3210, an ordinance granting an access and utility easement over a portion of Township of Middletown property identified as Lot 7, Block 712 on the Township of Middletown tax map.
Are there any members of the public who would like to speak to ordinance number 2017-3210? See no members of the public come forward, move to close the public portion and move for adoption.
Second. Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeeman Perry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next ordinance from public hearing, we have ordinance 2017-3211, an ordinance repealing Article 2 of the Chapter 415 of the Township Code dissolving the Township's municipal garbage district.
Okay, are there any members of the public who would like to speak to ordinance number 2017-3211?
I have a question on it, more so than a statement.
You can come up and
Yeah.
say it. Name and address.
Pauline Hines, 144 Woodgate Road. It's more of a question than a statement, and I'm not sure what my to ask it passes if I don't state it now. I've been trying to find out about the cost. I'm currently on private collection, and I've emailed the recycling address at the township. From Mr. Fiore suggests, or Commissioner Fiore suggests on social media, further contact with Mr. Representative, the township administrator, but I haven't heard back. Is the township planning to publish on the website, on the town website, the cost and how people can assess the cost? Because I'm not clear on how my costs will work out with the change in collection, and it's something I'd like to understand.
Tony, you want to?
Well, we could publish the estimated amount, but it would be only good for as long as the current tax rate is, it would constantly change, and it would be an estimated amount, but basically what we've been telling people to do is to calculate your assessed value divided by 100, and...
I didn't know, actually, that was what, that formula is what I was looking for. I fully appreciate it's going to change year on year, but the formula, I don't think is on the town website.
It's not, because when you put something out like that, people then assume that's going to be it. Literally, it could change by January.
You could state it's going to change, and you could put a formula, and you could say, here's the formula to calculate yourself. I know a lot of people.
Multiply by 0.066, and that's about,
So I take my assessed
value
and
by 100 times 0.066.
will the township be willing to post this on the website as a formula with all the necessary disclaimers so other people can understand? It's confusing to people like myself.
If you want to, we can certainly do that, but everyone's got to understand it. It'll change.
I think you can put in big letters across the top, it's going to change, and I think that will help people. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other members of the public who would like to speak to ordinance number 2017-3211? Okay, seeing no further members of the public come forward, move to close the public portion and move for adoption.
Second. Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeeman Perry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on second and final reading. Our next item on tonight's agenda, we have an introduction of proposed ordinance 2017-3212, an ordinance amending Chapter 341-10 of the Code of the Township governing enforcement of nuisance penalties.
I'll move for introduction.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeeman Perry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to pass this ordinance on first reading with a public hearing to be held December 4th, 2017. Our next item, we have a consent agenda, which would include resolutions 17-263 through 17-277, including vehicle and raffle applications and volunteer firefighter applications.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Committeeman Fiore.
Yes.
Committeeman Sedambrino.
Yes.
Committeeman Perry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray.
Yes.
Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the consent agenda. This time we have Township Committee comments.
Okay, Mr. Sedambrino.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I'd like to start to congratulate my colleagues, Committeeman Fury and Deputy Mayor Berg, on a victorious election. Well-deserved. Congratulations. And I think that's certainly your re-election for another 3 years is certainly a testament to the contributions that you've made to the Township Committee and to the betterment of the Township of Middletown. So thank you very much. Second item is congratulations to our newest committeeman, Mr. Impaired. I've sat with you on the planning board now for a year. It is certainly my pleasure and my honor to have seconded the nomination for your position here, and we wish you best of luck, and we're glad that you're with us on the Township Committee. So we look forward to serving you. The last item, Mayor, is we had a busy weekend, 1 weekend, with the Veterans Day Parade. It was a fantastic parade. I kept counting the number of fire trucks that passed by, the ambulances and so forth, and I lost track after about 15 or so. It's a testament to our town, and to the veterans that have served, and it's a testament to everyone watching the parade to remember what freedom costs and what our veterans have done for us. And we also had the opportunity to attend the Doughboy Monument rededication, which I have to say I had not seen that monument in the district there prior to that, and that's fantastic what our sculptor was able to do. And of course we had the street sign dedication as well. So quite a busy weekend, and many congratulations around. That's all I have for this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Mr. Perry, how time you jump into the fire?
Thank you. Well, I just want to thank the entire Township Committee. It's an honor to sit up here with you. I've had the pleasure of working with you over many years now, making sure that we provide the best government we can for the people and the residents of Middletown. And it's just been my honor to work with all of you in different capacities. As Committeeman Sedambrino said, it's been great working with him on the planning board, and all of you in a variety of capacities. To the residents of Middletown, I promise you one thing. I will work day in and day out to assure that the people of Middletown have another voice up here. I'm surrounded by incredible advocates for this town, and I look forward to joining them, learning from them, and just being a part of this unbelievable community in this new position. So I want to thank all of you, and congratulations. I'll echo Committeeman Sedambrino's comments. Congratulations to Deputy Mayor Murray, Committeeman Fiore on your re-election. Thank you.
Beautiful. Mr. Fiore, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. Not to be overly repetitive, but just a few things. First, with respect to our veterans, and clearly this weekend being Veterans Day, observed on Friday or Saturday, depending on if you're my postman or not. Just a wonderful, wonderful weekend that we had the opportunity last weekend to spend with our veterans, as my colleague, Committeeman Senatorino, mentioned. I believe that there's very few, if any, towns who do as much for our veterans. I believe that we can be doing even more for our veterans, and whether it was that Doughboy statue or the KIA signs or that small parade as a token of our appreciation. It was so great to see so many people come out in such not very nice weather that we had for that parade, but to see the dedication of the residents on that parade route, the amount of people that came to the VFW afterwards was really heartening to me. So I can't say enough about our Veterans Affairs. I cannot say enough about the veterans of this country who deserve everything and more that we can do for them. And I look forward to continuing to move that agenda along to do as much, if not more, that we can do for our veterans, including potential veteran housing, which I think is something that we might have, that we will have, I believe, an opportunity to do here within Middletown. So I'm very excited about that. I know we spoke about that a few months ago, but it's a great time to just reintroduce that. With respect to, look, we are very fortunate, and under the statute, Committeeman Massell has been a long-time colleague and a great township committee member, and someone who served as my deputy mayor, someone near and dear to all of us in this community, gave a tremendous amount to this community. So, he is a big loss, and Committeeman Massell will definitely have some big shoes to fill. But we're very fortunate as a committee to have 3 names that were submitted to us to be a potential replacement under the statute. And I can't say enough, if you saw the press today, you saw I had a quote in it. I can't say enough about the 3 people that we had the opportunity to consider. All have tremendous backgrounds. Mr. Avita, who I see here in attendance, a tremendous background, a tremendous community advocate with his work on different boards and the Board of Education. Pat Snell, who's been a tremendous background and a great advocate for her community, and Navison, I say it wrong all the time. And clearly, Mr. Anthony Perry, who we appointed today. I have had the opportunity to work with Tony, who goes by Tony to me, as I go by another Anthony. Personally, I go with Tony also. I've had the opportunity to work with him in many capacities through Senator Carrillo's office, through the governor's office previously. He has done a tremendous amount to help move this community forward and to do for our community, whether it's been with rage and testifying and things he has done as president of the library to ensure our tremendous library system that we have, the planning board. I just can't say enough about this young man who has a tremendous background, who I'm extremely excited about serving with, and who I believe, on his merit, will be a tremendous asset to not only this township community, but also to the people of Middletown. So Tony Perry, welcome to this committee, and I look forward to your service in the future, now and in the future. And then finally, just a thank you from myself, as both Committeeman Perry and Committeeman Senator Marino mentioned. I thank you both for your comments about my re-election for the 4th time. More importantly, I thank the residents and all of you in attendance and all residents of Middletown for entrusting me to represent you. I do not take this township committee seat lightly. This is something that, this is a community that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and one that I will continue with every breath I have to fight for taxpayers as your advocate, to make sure that we are operating as efficiently as possible, to make Middletown, as I've promised many times before, and I will promise again, to make Middletown the best place to live, work, and raise a family. That is really the ultimate goal of myself, and I know my colleagues in this committee. So thank you for your support and your trust in another term for me to represent you. It is truly an honor and a true privilege for me to be able to have that ability. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor Murray, you're up.
So I don't know what I'm going to say that hasn't already been said, so I'm going to be brief and just say that I echo a lot of the comments that my colleagues have iterated tonight. I'm going to leave all of the fantastic veterans events that we went to this evening to the mayor last weekend. It was a tremendous weekend for our vets, and I'm very proud to be part of a town that honors its veterans not only on Veterans Day weekend and at Veterans Day events, but every day. So there's tremendous spirit in our community for our vets. As far as our new addition goes, I am extremely pleased to have Tony Perry up here with us. He has been a community superstar for a number of years. He's been an advocate for us in Trenton, as you heard Committeeman Fiore mention. He's also been a volunteer locally at our planning board and our library board, and he's a superstar. So we're super glad to have you up here, Tony, so welcome. And lastly, I just, on a personal note, would like to say that I really have been sincerely overwhelmed by the generous, long-time support of the community. And I truly am honored to be elected again for another term, and I look forward, as I do every day, to continue serving the community. So thank you, and I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, last, I'm not going to be brief, I'll tell you right now. So, we haven't had a meeting for a couple of weeks, so a lot's happened. But, just quickly, the Veterans Day Parade, we were sweating out the weather reports, and somehow the rain held off for the most part. And the turnout was spectacular. And at the end of the parade, the VFW has a big reception. It's really nice to see some of the marching bands, the high school bands, interacting with the vets. There was a World War II vet who was 96 years old, who could probably outrun me, and it's just amazing to see that. But it really makes you feel good. Middletown has a spirit that not a lot of towns can claim. And you see it reinforced at these sort of events, the Memorial Day Parade, and certainly the Veterans Day Parade. It's really something that is it's intangible, but it's there, and you know what makes this town so great at those sort of events. It really makes you feel good, not only to be an American, but to be from Middletown. So great day all around. Earlier we had the Doughboy dedication, and that's a World War I memorial. And World War I has now become one of those conflicts that are now way in the history books. All of the veterans are gone. I think we have some grandkids who are around, maybe some older sons and daughters, but it's really, 100 years ago. So we're very fortunate to have a memorial to it, which is part educational and part reflective. So really, if you haven't been there, it's on Church Street, right? Right down from the Elks Lodge. And it really is a beautiful memorial. The statue is magnificent. Believe it or not, we have a sculptor in town here, and he did a fantastic job on it. So if you ever have a statue that needs work, I know a good sculptor for you. We also had a street sign dedication, one this time. Typically we do them 4 or 5 at a time. And for you folks who are new and don't know the process, a lot of the street signs in town that you see another blue street sign above it, that street was named after a veteran who was killed in action in one of the conflicts. And we've done World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, certainly the Gulf, the Mideast conflicts. But now we've done World War I. We have 2 Revolutionary War street signs that are named after KIAs from that conflict. And we're working on the Civil War, so pretty soon we're going to have the whole town done. And we had one for the World War I. Compton Street was done. So it really is, it's a reminder. It gives the branch of service that they were in, the conflict, the rank. So it's really a nice thing, and I hope every young man or woman who sees it realizes that there was a lot that went into the community we have now before, and that's a great example of it. And to finish up with Veterans Day, the Westminster Presbyterian Church had the Field of Flags ceremony. And it was really a great ceremony. There's a flag on the front lawn there, and it represents each soldier who was killed in the various conflicts in the Middle East. And it really, it's very sobering. You understand that there are young men and women still willing to step up and fight against everybody, anything that would threaten our beautiful way of life here. So very moving, and a great job always done by Reverend Hine. We had the ribbon cutting for the Bayshore Village complex a couple of weeks ago, and for you, those of you who may be aware of it, it was destroyed during Sandy, and it's a senior complex up on the other side of 36. And when I tell you, I saw maybe 100 of the happiest octogenarians I've ever seen in my life at that. It really was something to see, and they deserve a beautiful facility there. I'm very proud of it. And I'm just about done here. The ribbon cutting before you call Glorious Dining, this is the name of it, Three Chicks That Click photography studio. And it's a great facility in Arran Park. And they actually moved from another place in Middletown to a bigger facility, and they're expanding. So we always like to see businesses that are not only becoming successful in Middletown, but also growing and moving into bigger quarters. And finally, I want to congratulate Tony and Steph on their re-election. It was a huge win, and we're very proud of them. Middletown is very fortunate to have people of their caliber sitting up here, and Middletown is forever rated one of the top places to live in the country. We're the #1 safest town in New Jersey. We just had a tax cut this year. We had the #1 website. You name it, we're at the top. So that doesn't happen by accident, and I'm very honored as a resident to have Tony and Steph join us for another 3-year term. And last but not least, I want to welcome Tony Perry to the committee here. When you see his resume, you will be absolutely knocked out as what he's done at such a young age. Middletown is very fortunate to have somebody of his accomplishment at under 30. When I was your age, my God, I didn't know which end was up. And it's really nice to see somebody so young and so accomplished and so capable. So we're very happy. I think the residents of Middletown will be extremely well served. And we look forward to good things from Tony and this whole township committee. So with that, thank you all very much. Okay, before we open up for public comments, I just want to remind everybody, please state your name and address, and also keep your comments to 5 minutes, just to allow everybody who wants to speak the chance, okay? All right, what's your pleasure?
I have 2 issues, primarily, 3 really. If I have time, I'll get to the third one, but I'll do my first 2. They're connected. Committeeman Perry is appointed tonight, and I'm sure a lot of people in the room know, but many people throughout town don't know that he's your son-in-law, Mayor Scharfenberger, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? I think a lot of people in the town have a concern, myself included, so I'll speak for myself only, about family members serving on the same committee. When you're serving in a large town, almost 70,000 people that Middletown has, this is already a very tight-knit group. You can see it. It's almost a familial kind of congratulations when Committeeman Perry came up, and that's great, except for I'm worried about your ability to separate if there are issues that you need to go toe-to-toe on an issue. And I hope there are issues that you would need to go toe-to-toe on. I would hope that as a group, you're not all thinking the same thing all the time, because I don't think that's going to serve the people of Middletown very well. So I want to express that as a concern. I would love if this were something that would be dealt with in the township in an ordinance that would say this wouldn't actually be possible in the future. I'm not doubting the qualifications of Committeeman Perry. That's not the question at all. The question is how you will actually separate. If there are issues, there are contentious issues, and I would expect and hope that there are contentious issues. And it's difficult for people like myself to imagine that you can actually separate. Okay. My second issue is related to this. Do you take submissions of paperwork to review, or no?
Yeah,
You can have it if you want. You don't have to have it. And you can pass it through the board, to the committee, excuse me. I'm glad that Committeeman Fiore takes his obligations on the committee seriously. Earlier today, there was a dialogue on social media, which was pretty hot and heated, where somebody made a comment that they were unhappy, as I am, about family members serving on the Township Committee. Again, 70,000 people in the town. I would hope for more diversity. Committeeman Fiore engaged in a way that I think is unbecoming of a Township Committee. It doesn't serve Middletown well to have ad hominem attacks made on somebody who's asking a question, even if their question was made in a very heated fashion, perhaps not in a way that Mr. Fiore would have liked to have seen. I expect better from the elected representatives in this town, all of you. I expect better behavior. I don't expect attacks on social media. I think it's highly inappropriate. A valid question was asked. It may not have been asked in the nicest, most comfortable way possible.
No, ma'am, it was an attack on me, ma'am. So you know what? I have the right, as just any other individual, if you're going to attack me and try to cyberbully me, I will say something back, okay? So you may say that you don't like the way I acted today, and that is your right, ma'am. And you know what? This is an individual who has been going back and forth for weeks, who's been basically, if you want to talk about social media and asking questions, I never, and you know this, I never try to avoid a question. But my character will not be attacked, okay? I will not be told things that, you know, question my integrity and my integrity of the decision. Because you know what? Just like you, I deserve respect, just like I give respect to every resident too. Just because that someone sits up here and volunteers their time doesn't make them a social media target. Thank you.
I do not agree that...
Well, you don't have to agree, ma'am.
No, I'm saying...
My own personal account.
I do not believe that you should be, anyone of you should be a social media target. However, you put yourself in a position of serving the public of Middletown, and a question was asked, albeit uncomfortably phrased and positioned, and the response was an ad hominem attack. It's not appropriate behavior. It's not becoming of a Township Committee member. It would have been better if you would have responded with Committeeman Perry's resume, with
This had nothing to do with that issue, ma'am. It had to do with an attack on my integrity for the last time that I've seen it.
And so the response to lay into an ad hominem attack, I would suggest, is not the way to approach it. You can decide how to...
By the way, this was also someone who ran in a political office for this seat and position. So don't tell me this was just a normal, regular person trying to make a political platform out of this, okay? Thank you.
Sorry, excuse me. I'm saying, I think this
You have
township
the right
should do
to have
better.
that.
It should do better. Yeah, I do, and I have the right to come here and ask for better behavior from the Township Committee. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other members of the public?
Good evening. My name is Tom Harvey with 163 Middletown, Middletown. First, I'd like to congratulate Ms. Mary with her job at the West Lawn Branch. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I remember you ran against me last year, right?
No, that was
you? Okay.
Mr. Seven. Beautiful building, Seabright. Thank you for that. Now,
It's not me, it's the borough.
oh, you're not designing it?
It's not me, it's the borough.
Are you the firm that's designing the building?
That's my client.
And you're being paid by Seabright. They raised the taxes, well, that's not the issue, but I'd like to ask about the new appointee. I wonder what, I know him. I was in New Jersey organizing a project. We met him in Carlos's office a few years ago. It wasn't very helpful. I'm sure he'll be no trouble filling Mr. Massell's shoes. But I'd like to know, it seemed like it was a done deal here. You know, it was voted, the other two candidates are here. I'd like to know why he was better than the other two. Does it have something to do with that you worked for Mr. Carlos? You worked for Mr. Christie?
Mr. Hardy, I really don't appreciate what you're doing right now, okay? You're making this out to be something else. And you're not, yes, you are. Let me just say one thing, sir, and you can continue, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, I see what you're doing with this, and it's wrong. If you don't understand what we do up here, if you're gonna try to imply that there's some kind of, we're here to serve the community, we get nothing from this. People have to earn a living.
Why is it more qualified than the other two? That's all.
He's had an exemplary track record as both the president of the library board, which is a very important board. Aside from his background in Senator Carol's office in legislative matters that have been very helpful to Middletown Township, he understands the issues. He understands clearly what it takes to be a representative, because he works with one of the best representatives that has ever served this township. And he's also been a tremendous member on another very important board called the planning board. So I have no problem
He
with
was
it.
appointed to the planning board.
But he served tremendously.
And he has to run for election.
This isn't this is an unexpired term. He will have to, if he'd like to seek the seat next year, of the unexpired term, he has to run and be voted in for a 3-year term. So this isn't a perpetual appointment by the township.
So is anyone going to answer why he's more qualified?
Well,
I just think
I'll say this. I'd be happy to do this. We did meet in the senator's office, and it's interesting that you say that I wasn't helpful, because I'm still in touch with Amanda. I still get frequent. Okay, well, I'm still communicating with
Very
her.
good.
So,
There's still 7,000 people out back in their homes.
and any one of those that wants to call me at my office, they can have my cell phone number. You have my cell phone number. I've provided it to you in the past. You can pass it out to any single one of
You
those
wouldn't
people.
even let us put us in contact with Mr. Curls. You were condescending. I just want to know why he's more qualified.
Mr. Argy, anybody can run for the township committee. As you can see, every year, anyone can run. And your son ran, or was it your brother? If somebody, it's your brother. So anybody has the right to run.
I just want to know
So,
why he's more qualified.
Well, I think you've explained that.
Hold on a second. We spent the last 5 minutes relaying a resume here that is mind-boggling for somebody of that age. It's better than most people twice his age. And I'll tell you, his knowledge of the legislative process and his connections out there will do wonders for this township. Now, you can sit there and you have your mind made up that we can talk with blue in the face that it's not good enough, but that's up to you. You were just given a resume that anybody would give their left arm for. So if that doesn't satisfy you, what can I tell you? Thank you. Are there any other members of the public? Yes, ma'am. Where's my gavel? Only kidding, gavel.
My name is Kathy Rogers, 141 Wilson Avenue, Fort Myers. I just want to say, I listened to the last 2 speakers, and I have to say, I've been in this town for 58 years, lived in this community. This township committee is one of the best that we have had in this town. And they have done great things for us. And I believe Mr. Perry will give this committee things to think about because he's young. We need new, young ideas to come before this town and this board, and I do not believe that they will bully him. He's not the type that would be bullied, and they will work with him. And I think that with Mr. Fury, I think he has a right, if someone condemns him, to speak up, even if he belongs on the township committee. He should not have to take criticism that I have seen on Facebook. It is ridiculous. And it is the opponents who ran against him, and I just think it's wrong. But I want to say that I am glad I live in this town, and I'm glad you are all members of this township committee.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to speak? Yes, sir. Representing Idea Regis.
That's right. Albert Moore, 61 Ocean Avenue, North Middletown. On a lighter note, first of all, I want to say congratulations.
Thank you, Howard. Thank you.
And to you also. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen.
Thank you.
But on a different note, I wanted to actually, I'm here tonight to say thank you to 2 Middletown police officers. Okay, too often police do not get the accolades they deserve. One morning, at 1 a.m., my neighbor had a fall and couldn't get up. He had just had surgery on his left shoulder. He lost any pain and has problems trying to get up if he falls down anyway. His wife called me. I responded. I couldn't get him up either. We actually called 911, which is now goes down to Freehold, correct? and they responded by calling the Middletown Police to assess the situation. 2 officers, let's see, yeah. 2 officers arrived quickly. Officer Tara Stussy and Officer Eric Van Shank. They quickly assessed the situation, 1 o'clock in the morning, and took charge, getting the husband off the floor and back onto a chair, from which he was able to regain his composure and care for himself for the rest of the night. The officers were super professional in their response, keeping the family calm, and I just wanted to say for the record that Officers Tara Stussy and Eric Van Shank are an asset to the Middletown Police Department. And a huge thank you to all of the officers who protect us daily. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I don't know if you know, but Eric was also our EMS chief, so he did a great job at that also a few years back.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, is there anybody else who would care to speak? Okay, seeing no further members of the public come forward, we can close. Sorry, you're not invisible, just for the record, okay?
Regina Macowitz, 47 Foxwood Run, Middletown, New Jersey. And as I was sitting in the gallery this evening, I got very upset and I got very scared of addressing you as a committee because I didn't want to get bullied. I'm on the verge of tears right now because when I speak at these meetings, I get shut down. Like, and the first 2 people, it was just rude. And when we go to kindergarten, we learn how to get along with people. We learn how to say please and thank you. We learn how to wait our turn. And we learn not to interrupt when someone is speaking. What this was just, to my opinion, a carryover of what's been going on in the Facebook arena. Now, I'm getting upset because I see a lot of garbage that does go on. And I try myself to be very neutral about it and say to people, if you've got a complaint with the committee, come to the meetings. Come to the mayor's office hours. Be proactive. Don't be on your phones and sniping. And we know that there are certain people that just love to antagonize, but a fish does not have to take every piece of bait that is put in front of its face when a fisherman goes fishing. And I think that one way to shut down a cyberbully is to stop responding. The other way to do it is to contact the administrator of that Facebook group. But I highly object to an elected official threatening these people on social media and saying that they have to defend themselves. Because you are an elected official, you are representing the town of Middletown by virtue of the fact that you are on there. When committee member Fiore fights back to defend himself, he's not putting a disclaimer on it that these are my own opinions and they are not the opinions expressed by...
I certainly do now.
All right, so for today's diatribe was the fact that in response to a person heckling you, you responded with a guy to question my credibility who victimizes his wife with domestic violence really needs to get his priorities straight. Tell us, Michael, about the events of March 14th, 2015. And it was a link to a police blotter in which this person had been arrested. There was another situation before the election where, again, being goaded by these people, you responded with threatening to sue the person for defamation of character. And then there was another one where it was somebody else, where apparently you had some inside information, about something where the guy claimed discrimination based on religious, and you said enough to put the topic out there, but you said, do I need to go there? Do you really want me to go there? And to see an elected official, shame on you. Shame on you.
I'm also the same elected official who you won't see in that group anymore, who's answered more questions for residents, including yourself, who's been called corrupt, who's been called who's been said that I was taking bribes for garbage, who said every single, and the mafia, okay, thanks to my Italian heritage, okay? So look, I get that social media can be a cesspool, and I also get that what I did today in response to the same person who has been attacking me personally, okay, over everything I do, including things he said about the town, I get that that wasn't the best thing to do, and you know what? I actually took it all 5 minutes later, if you want to correct the record completely. But at the end of the day, okay, at the end of the day, this is the world, unfortunately, that we've created. It's a world that I've tried to be helpful to answer your questions or questions that have been given to me on my own personal time, on my own personal page, on my own personal accord. And guess what? I won't do it anymore, Regina, okay? I won't do it anymore for you because it's not worth it, because the attacks that I get on my personal character, on my livelihood, on anything that I possibly do, is just terrible, okay? And I'm not here crying about it. I'm not here crying about it. I went through an election which you supported the other candidate. That's cool, and I told you that from the beginning. That's cool. That's why there's vanilla chocolate strawberry.
You know who I voted for?
You know what? I don't really care. Because I don't really care. I don't really care. Listen, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? But I'm not going to sit here and let people continue to personally attack me. It's just not going to happen. But you know what? At the end of the day, I took down what I said about him. It's a public record what I said. This is a candidate. This wasn't a normal resident. This was a candidate who ran for this position. You know, so same type of things. I didn't go against a normal person who seek nomination for the position of the Township Committee. Okay, so at the end of the day, you know, you tell me I have to be at a higher standard, and you know what, you're probably right. I should just take a punch in the face, because that's what you want to do. Call me corrupt, call me the mafia, do what you want to do. I'm not here asking for forgiveness.
Okay, we're up against the 5-minute limit, so Mr. Clemenza, I mean, Mr. Fiore.
Thank you.
We're going to have to move on. Thank you. Is there anybody else who would care to speak? Yes, sir.
I just want to spread a little bit of good news that some of you can make for this morning. Former middle school was the recipient of a $10,000 grant.
Absolutely. Yep, we're very proud of it. Yep. All right. If anybody has got more news like that, come on. Is there anybody else who would care to speak? Going once, going twice. Okay, seeing no further members of the public come forward, move to close the public portion, and before we move for adjournment, I just want to say one thing, just to kind of tie this up. I believe that we have one of the best run communities in the entire state. It's been that way for a long time. Year after year, we get award after award. And it's not any one person up here, it's a collective up here. I'm very proud of the township committees that I've served on. I'm now the elder statesman up here, and believe me, we have a very deep talent pool. The other two applicants have tremendous resumes. So it's almost an embarrassment of riches when you have that, which is a great thing. We should all be very happy that we have people willing to step up for, in my case, nothing. Nothing. It costs you more to be on this board than you could ever dream of getting, return in salary. I don't want to use the word. But, so it really is, it's an honor to be up here. We do not take it lightly. We always want to assemble the best team up here. That's how candidates are chosen. And apparently it's worked over the years, because the proof is in the pudding. If you see the way this town is run and the way other towns talk about Middletown, everybody looks up to Middletown. The League of Municipalities uses our budgeting process as a model for the rest of the state. That doesn't happen by accident. It's great leadership, and I'm very proud to be a part of this. And it is a collective. We do not agree, we rarely agree on everything, and we get to a point where we can make a decision, but people would be very proud and very satisfied to see the process of how we go about that. So it really is something that is it's something very special, and I think we can all rest easy that we have such a good team up here running the town, and I think we see it every day, and with people who are moving in here left and right, and I hear it from people who say, I've lived all over the state or all over the country, and nothing compares to Middletown. So keep that in mind, and I am extraordinarily happy with the decision we made, and I think everybody else will be too, and time will tell. So with that, move for adjournment.
Second.
Committeeman Stewart.
Yes.
Committeeman Rita.
Yes.
Committeeman Perry.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Murray. Yes. Mayor Scharfenberger.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.